Here we are. Good morning. New York Stock Exchange pre-market gap Tuesday 5/24/2011. AutoZone beat their earnings by 31 cents a share. Salesforce.com, CRM up $3.15. We got some of the commodity related type names. You got BHP in here. You got the CMG, that's a restaurateur, but you got Cleveland Cliffs up. One of the things that we did like yesterday was Mosaic and Potash. And we like some of these little trades in here. So we're constantly looking for opportunity. The MCP trade has a small gap up today. Everything has a counter trend or a relief rally in short-term oversold. FCX has got, this is the one that's been doing real well. FCX, when they're traded, they need to be bought off of that support and sold into that resistance. Until the correction is clearly out of the way, you don't want to be holding them for the greater part of the move. They're going to be in what we call a correction consolidation between support and resistances at lower market levels. Deere is raising their earnings. You got Hess. Hess is a good little one. Here's your MOS here. BHI. So you got a long, the things that really qualify, you got CEO in here. Okay. Listed stocks are easy to trade, but the list is fairly long, and that's because of the pre-market futures. And we have a counter trend, bull counter trend in early on pre-market. But crude oil is up. So basically the FTSE, the CAC, and the DAC are all positive right now. That's contributing to part of this pre-market futures gap. Short-term oversold have what we call relief rallies to resistance. At resistance, when they fail, that's when you look at taking them down short. I don't view that holding anything for the longer term is the right thing to be doing during this particular moment in time. One of the things that we would like to illustrate is that at the end of the month, because it's 5/24/2011, that fresh money that is sitting on the sidelines is going to want to come off. There's a little ruckus right there. I apologize on the video. However, we're going to be monitoring where the energy, where the commodity names, the story about, China, Brazil, India slowing down. We're going to take a look at the leadership names that are short-term oversold that will have what we call relief rallies. CLF is a good one here. OXY, another one that's been beaten down in the last month. So some of the... One of the things, sorry about the interruption on the video there, one of the things that we look for in markets that are short-term, everything has short-term overbought, short-term oversold, short-term overbought. Caterpillar has been bouncing off the bottoms here every single day. Some of these names in here, Goldman's been trying to put in a bottom. This FCX, gold and copper stock, has been doing well. CLF has been doing well. This little OXY is doing okay. You got BHP over here gapping up. So some of those names that we're going to be looking at today is going to be in that beaten down area. And that beaten down area is in that energy area. They're good trades for short term, but I would not hold them. They're to be bought and sold, or sold and bought back. Sold short, long, short, it doesn't matter. RIO, R-I-O, is gapping up. So some of these things that have just been taken to the woodshed and have sold off in the mild correction that the markets have put in are going to have what we call counter trends. This Cummins CMI, nice stock to trade. So that's the gap open on the NYSE. On the other hand, on the gap open down, we have BLK. Oh, don't tell me your great LNKD LinkedIn. Well, it happens to be in there. MDT is in there. So the gap open down is very diminishing. So price volatility upside, which is the way we're starting out today, and downside volatility was yesterday. So you get these upside volatility moves and downside volatility moves. That always happens when you're in an overbought cycle and markets are going through their bull correction rally, meaning that a lot of these names in here are bull names that led these markets to where they're at. So once again, let's take a look at the ones that are going to make the easiest way of making money. FCX, Mosaic, Potash, which is not on the list, but there are a number of good names in here that make easy trades. Okay, so BHP, when they have that artificial price gap, we monitor what are they selling into it, or when it pulls back, do you see big buy action bars come in there throughout the intraday process. Looking for the shorter term oversold will be the trade off of that bottom selling back into the strength on the NYSE.